If you don't know where your money is going every month, you're not in control. You're reacting. And that is how people stay stuck for years. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a simple budget, the same foundation I used to eliminate $85,000 in debt. No fluff, no apps, just discipline. A few of you asked me how to build a budget, so let's build one. A budget is simple. It's a plan for your money. That's it. It tells you how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, and what you're doing with what's left. Think of it as you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. You only need three things: your monthly income, your expenses, and a plan for what's left, debt or savings. That's it. No complicated formulas, no financial jargon, just clarity. You can do this in Excel or you can do this on a piece of paper, whatever works best for you. Start with your monthly income. In this example, let's say this person makes $3,500 a month. So once you're done writing down your monthly income, next we're going to list our expenses. And remember that there are two types. We have what's called fixed expenses, also known as needs. And these are going to be things like your rent, utilities, your phone bill, groceries, insurance, gas, and credit card minimum payments. Because your fixed expenses, it's basically anything that you need plus anything that you're obligated to pay every month, which includes things like your minimums and also your car payment. In this example, this person doesn't have a car payment, but he does have some credit card debt. And so he does have to make minimums. So once you're done listing out all of your fixed expenses, now let's start putting down the amounts. Let's say this person pays $1,300 a month for rent. For utilities, he pays $300. His phone bill is $100. For groceries, he's budgeting around $500. Insurance, I think nowadays a good number is something like 220 if you have a good record. For gas, let's say 150 a month, and his minimum credit card payment will also make it $150 a month. Once you're done laying out your fixed expenses, then the second type are your variable expenses, also known as wants. These are going to be things like subscriptions, which are pretty common nowadays, entertainment, shopping, and let's say you want to budget some money for clothes as well. So we're going to do the same thing here and list out the amounts that you're planning to spend. So for subscriptions, let's say this person is budgeting $60 for entertainment. We'll call this $200. For shopping, 150, and for clothes, let's call this 100 even. So we have our income, we have our two types of expenses. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add up each expense category. And I'm going to use a formula in Excel, but you can do this on your phone calculator or any other one that you have. And we're basically gonna add all of our fixed expenses. And so that totals to $2,720 for fixed expenses. We're gonna do the same thing for the variable expenses. So I'm just gonna add up these numbers here. That turns out to be $510. Now that you have a total for your fixed and your variable expenses, we're going to go back to the left here and we're going to make another line and we're going to call this total expenses, which this is going to be your fixed plus your variable expenses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the total for the fixed, which is 2,720 plus the variable expenses, which is 510. And that turns out to be $3,230 for my total expenses. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate the money left over, which is your income minus your expenses. So in this case, this is going to be my income, which is $3,500 a month, minus my total expenses, which is your 3,230. And so the money left over at the end of the month, assuming you can stick to this plan, would be $270. Now, here's the part that most people skip: $270 left. That's with no emergencies, no car repairs, no medical bills, just 270. That is why most people feel like they're drowning. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't work hard, but because they've never looked at the numbers clearly. And clarity changes everything. Now you decide. If you have no savings, build an emergency fund. If you have debt, attack it. If you choose to spend it, well, that's your decision. But at least now it's intentional. And that's the power of a budget. It gives you control. There are only two ways to create more margin. You can either spend less or earn more. Short term, you can cut expenses, get a roommate, pause subscriptions, or pick up extra shifts. But long term, you need to increase your income because surviving on $300 of margin per month isn't sustainable. It's vulnerability. And vulnerability turns into stress the moment something goes wrong. When I paid off $85,000 in debt, I didn't suddenly start making six figures. I followed a plan every month for years. That's what budgeting really is: it's discipline applied consistently. Here's the truth: if you don't control your money, it will control you. Budgeting isn't hard, it's uncomfortable. And uncomfortable is where growth starts. Before you chase more money, prove you can manage what you already have. Because if you can manage 3,500, you won't manage 10,000 any better. Write it down, face the numbers, build a plan, because no one is coming to fix it for you.